Can you tell me one word that describes your journey as an activist in Nigeria?
Depressing.
Emotional damage.
United yet divided.
Horrendous.
Devastating.
I am Apolmida Haruna Samani.
Priye Diri.
My name is Roslyn Inobong Okon.
I'm Dorothy Njemanze.
They're working in 2017 with DNF. We were taking the survivor and her mom home. And when we got to this place where they stayed, we wanted to understand how a rape could happen in a car. And I remember just us driving to the place where the exact incident happened and having the survivor explain to us what was happening at the time. By the time we went out to the road, there was a mob that blocked the road, and apparently they were waiting for us. I was confused. I didn't understand what was happening. But then the survivor's mom had identified these people as the friends of the alleged perpetrator at the time. I just remember thinking to myself, how are you defending human rights and your life is at risk?
As an activist, first of all, your life is not secured. You live every day waking up from sleep and going back to bed, feeling like, I just hope that I'm waking up the next morning alive, not even for the fear of hitting the streets and having issues with either accident or anything, but you could just be at home and something just happens. Why? Because you've become a voice that stands up against injustice.
In responding to sexual and gender-based violence, the entire network that supports human rights defenders seems not to recognize the peculiarities of human rights defenders that respond to sexual and gender-based violence. And so when we are faced with threats, amongst other things, the kind of support being offered to us is for us to leave the country. Guess what? We are not looking to leave the country.
As activists, we are always fighting for other people. We are always trying to give other people hope. But who is giving us hope? Who is taking care of us? Who is listening to our own cries? We are human beings too.
I am a woman before my disability, right? But then I'm seen as a person with disability first before my person.
As an individual organization, we are always trying to get funding. They always want to know that you have funding from other donors to show track record. But then how are you going to have that if you're not given that opportunity? It's more like saying someone should have 20 years experience before you give that person a job. How is that person supposed to have that experience if that person is not given the opportunity or if it's not given the chance?
So when we have a good project, we have a good proposal, and the funders will be like, oh, when they see the disability, and they'll be like, can this person with disability handle funds like this? Then they send an email and be like, okay, cut your budget down to half the price, half the initial price. So already it's discriminating enough.
Went through a whole year without an active grant, and what this does is that there's a high turnover rate of staff. Staff leave too soon simply because the resources are not there.
When it comes to capacity building, instead of the donors to like take their time to train us on capacity building, okay, this is our way, okay, send the templates and all, but then informations are most times not clear.
Funding is so challenging that it affects our productivity, it affects our effectiveness, it affects our mental state, because you have to go to bed thinking about, okay, so my children will have to eat 2 square meals a day so that I can spare 1 square meal to give to the other children of another survivor.
A lot of people treat us like magicians that should provide everything everybody needs, but nobody is thinking about what we possibly need. We've been exposed to disease in the most recent past, and up until now we've not been able to find even one source of funding to support us through the journeys of exposure to disease while we were responding to sexual and gender-based violence. It would help a lot if we got the kind of support, funding support that we should get. I won't feel the need to take loans to help people who do this very important work to have some sense of dignity.
An ideal word, honestly, would be to have proper support system. And proper support system will be that funders understand the work that we do and are willing to meet us at the point of our needs.
How then will the sustainable development goals be achieved when people are not interested in investing in real-time response or the lived realities of people undergoing sexual and gender-based violence and first responders responding to sexual and gender-based violence? It's impossible. No SDG goals.